No, well, thank you for taking the time in the midst of the holiday and just all the crazy and hustle and bustle. So thank you.
This is my favorite time, not just because of Christmas and the meaning behind it and just how amazing it is to connect with everyone and give those. I love giving gifts. So this is my favorite time of year, just the spoils for everyone. Meaningful gifts. I hate when they're like, oh, an Amazon gift card. No, what's your favorite color? Like, what do you really want? Let's talk about this.
No.
But I really love December. You were like, don't coast. And I'm like, don't do it. I've promoted twice in my career in December. And, it's awesome because it starts you out running into the new year. And, if you're not up for a promotion, look at your charts, find out who's in that executive position, who's really close to Ruby. You guys can make this happen because not only do people get cash in their Christmas cards, but they're gearing up for the new year. We've got these new amazing packages to launch. We've got conference coming up. We've got our coupon codes. There's so many things in play that I didn't have available to me back when I promoted. So I'm like, if I could do it, so can you.
No, I love that. And it's true. And it is. This is setting us up, and conferences early this year. And so excited. Yay. Well, friend, okay, will you share with us, maybe I actually don't even know your story. I was thinking that. I was like, which I feel like I say that with every speaker, but with yours, I'm like, I feel like it had to do with a restaurant and something and a Blitz card, but I don't even totally know. So I'm excited. Will you share your story with us first and foremost?
Yes. And so I've got to try to give you the meat, right? I've been with It Works now. This will be my 10th conference, you guys. Hello, welcome. This is my bedroom. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm with you. I'm in the bed.
Your bed's at least cute. Mine's like all dusty.
No.
Lord. But this is my 10th conference and I'm so stoked. And I feel so honored to say that because when I started, I really had no idea that I would be sitting here 10 years later, almost 10 years later. I was in a really tough place. I would say I was like that little mouse that just turned the cream into a little bit of butter. I just barely got my head out of water. I had gone from like dropping out of married, divorced, in the middle of that, found God. His family was very Christian, and I was saved sitting in church on a Sunday thanks to his family. So it was just such an amazing point in my life, but it wasn't the right path. And so after that, I did what typically happens. I just went head first into bottom. Really, I don't know how to explain it without going too far into anything, but just broken. And I decided I was going to drop out of college, 12 hours short of my bachelor's degree. I didn't want to be an international art major anymore. I was minoring in Japanese. I was like, I'm going to go do ad campaigns for Nike. And I just had this idea. And suddenly I didn't want to get trapped in a box. So I decided I wanted to be a personal trainer. And that was probably like the third time that my grandfather, who raised me, looked at me and was just really disappointed. Like, you're going to what? Leave college? You're so close. And so I went to be a personal trainer because there was just something about healing other people when you're not in the best spot. Helping somebody else makes you feel a lot better about where you're at. And so I started this journey as a personal trainer, traveled as a sales associate, ended up meeting Josh and coming back to my home state in Toledo, Ohio, working at this ladies only gym when a woman walks in with a Blitz card. She was shaking, she was sweating. I could tell she wasn't a typical gym goer, that she was just stopping by to talk to me. And she handed me a Blitz card, and they were like the old school Blitz cards, you guys. One side of the butt was like way up. It was a butt picture, and it was like one cheek was here and the other cheek was here, and they were just ridiculous. She handed it to me, and she goes, "You need to know about this." And I don't really remember what went through my head other than like, okay. And you just kind of set it down. Well, she did her due diligence and she followed me on Facebook. And this is way before Facebook, like people doing business was a thing. I saw that she was getting ready to go on a vacation to the Bahamas. And it was just this point in my life where I'd never been on a vacation. I'd never been outside of Ohio, except for Florida a couple times with my grandparents as a kid. So I inquired again, how can you go to the Bahamas? And she said, I'm telling you, you need to know about this crazy wrap thing. So I didn't try the product. I was at a place in my life where I was laying in my apartment, first time that I had an apartment in 2 years. Outside of that, I was living on friends' couches and just back of my truck and anything Anything that I could do. I finally got enough pennies squared away in this apartment, staring at the ceiling and just, please God, give me a way out. Whatever that way out is, just give me an opportunity. I feel it in my heart that I'm supposed to do something. I didn't know what that something was. And I may have judged the opportunity when it was first presented to me, but in that moment, seeing that she was able to do something that my heart really wanted to do, that was enough. And I just took that leap of faith. I bought my distributor kit. It was $199. Don't ask me how I had $199 because I can't tell you. It's like I found it. My rent was $550 and I started out hoping to make $550 a month. If I could pay my rent with this, the 70 hours a week I was working at the gym every week, maybe I could get somewhere. I go to my first meeting. We do it at a little restaurant in Ohio. Cammie Pentecost comes out to be with me. And I'm like, I'm building this place up. I'm going to tell everyone I know, because I was a bartender, I was a server, I was a personal trainer, I was in college, I knew everyone. I was in newspaper sales, radio advertising, you name it. I had my hands in it in our city. Because I was just trying to get somewhere. That person, if I'm talking to you right now and that person is on your mind, the Jill of all trades, the Jack of all trades, that's who you talk to, because we're trying to do something, right? And you just need that break. And your message tonight might just be their break, because that woman walking to my gym, she left the company, later. It was a great breakup. I'm so thankful that happened, but it was a conduit in my life, that one blitz card, taking that one moment. So send that message if somebody's on your mind right now. Fast forward, I go Diamond or Cammie. Okay, so I'm at the meeting. I tell Cammie I'm going to fill this place up. Nobody shows up. So it's just me and Cammie. And she looks at me and she says, you know what? Can you give me 5 years? And I about spit my drink out. I was like, 5 years. Listen, I've committed to relationships. I've clearly failed at that. I dropped out of college and I paid for that. You want me to give you 5 years? And she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, give me 5 years and I will teach you how to make $100,000 a month. And my brain exploded. I grew a new brain cell. The determination inside of me that had always been there went, wait, what? That exists and you're offering it to me? No. People don't offer it to me. I grew up in the house where they said, that's not for you. That's for them. This is what we have. You know what I mean? So I grew a new brain cell when she said, just believe, just commit, just stick with me and we'll do this. And so Diamond in 30, Double Diamond in 60. Honestly, the reason I went Double Diamond was because Mark Pentecost looked at me and he said, hey, Sarah. And I was like, woo, you knew my name? What? He goes, I'll see you in Florida. And to get to Florida, it was the very first time corporate was coming down here. Mark had just bought this golf course. To get to Florida, you had to go Double Diamond. And that was the first time that somebody expected something of me. They said, I'll see you there because I believe that you can do it. And so that was another really big shift. Somebody calling and said, I'll see you in Florida. I know you have what it takes. I know you're worth more than this. So I'll see you there. And that was another huge shift in my career. Going to that event, I was one of the youngest in the room at the time. A lot of really amazing people were in that room. Joel and Stephanie Dunn, Carla Burns, Shelly Hyde, Cammie, of course, was there. The Sassicks were there. Just amazing souls that celebrated me. And that was also huge. I had never been celebrated before. And they just opened up their arms and they said, we are so proud of you. Now tell me everything you did. And I was like, I don't know, because it was really just that I've got to do this. I had already lived my nightmare. What I didn't know was what would happen if I really went in full pursuit of my dreams. And so right around Double Diamond, I hit that threshold where I was making like $5,000 a month. And for somebody that couldn't keep a roof over their head at $550 a month, that was a big deal. And so, I hit this little roadblock and started banging my head against the wall, AKA you get in a management position and you're like, okay, well, I did it. Now you guys go do it. Go. And then they don't do it, and you start to get salty, and you're like, why aren't they doing it? I did it. Nobody gave me anything. Nobody put an order over here. Nobody did that. Why can't they do it? And I just sat there salty for like 6 months. And I called Pam, and I said, I'm just, ugh. She's like, why are you so mad? And I said, I'm mad because I signed these people, and they said that they were with me. And she said, okay, well, then what happened? And I said, well, then they quit. And she goes, okay, so Sarah, let me ask you a question. Do people lie? And I was like, yes, Pam, people lie. I'm like, what's your point? She's like, well, let me ask you another question. Do people quit? And I said, well, yeah, people quit. I quit everything I've ever done in my life. Look at me. She goes, well, there's 2 things I'm not. I'm not a liar, and I'm not a quitter, and that's why I'm a multimillionaire. So what are you going to do? Quit? And I was like, rah! No, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to do this. And dang it, you know what? I might not have the team right now, but I'm going to go find that team. And this is what that team is going to look like. And you know what? Those people might be running faster than me, but I'm going to celebrate their wins. I'm going to celebrate those wins as if they're my wins. So I feel that energy, and I feel that excitement, and I run with that. And it all just started to fall together. I made the decision to encourage, to celebrate, to go all in. And I went triple diamond 6 months later, presidential diamond 4 months after that, and then ambassador diamond 6 months after that, and did the same thing on Josh, my husband's account, all the way up to presidential right along with it. And it was like a beautifully composed orchestra where we just had so many promotions, executives and rubies and emeralds and diamonds and triple diamonds. And it was the most amazing moment to date in my career, because so many people's dreams came true, all because I made the decision to go after mine, which was another shift in my business. And so in my 9 years, there's been a lot. I've grown up here. I was 24 then, single. I'm now married. We have a daughter. We both get to be home and raise her. I've continued on my faith walk, my finances. We've been so abundantly blessed, and being at the top 20 with you guys was another pivot in the career. It was another moment around the fire where I felt like I did at that first dash. I felt like I was with people who truly were celebrating each other, that we were there, that we had made it through our season of fire. And here we were, and the energy was just so good. And everything that Mark delivered, and getting to hear from Brandon and Chris of what's coming for us in 2019, again, another brain cell went bloop. I had just everything I thought I've known, because when you're here long enough, you start to feel like you know all the things, right? Yeah, I know what Mark's going to do this time. Yeah, we do this every December. Yeah, okay. Oh, double bonuses, 50,000. Cool. You start to like not take it for what it is. It's $50,000, you guys. This is huge. When else are you going to be offered that? And you're just like, no big deal? What? Are you kidding me? And so Top 20 just took me into a crazy new path. I was willing to put on the captain's hat and run into the ocean. And I joked that was like the highlight. It was a resemblance of my career, but it really was. I didn't know what I was getting into. I was just a broken girl from Toledo praying for a way out. It showed up in the form of this crazy rap thing. I committed to being here, fell in love with being here, and have committed to reinventing myself now for almost a decade. And I've loved not every minute of it. I've cried in the shower many times on promotion runs. They just happen, right? But for the most part, I've loved every minute of it. And I'm just so excited for our next 10 years. I'm telling you, as a vet, you are in the right spot. And I'm telling you, as somebody who recently has sat down with a couple of big fish, like not even big fish, like whales. Like, I can't believe you're talking to me. You're a whale. Like, holy crap. I'm freaking out, fangirling, sitting here talking to you. You're an industry, like, we know you, and they're for real. The rest of our industry is looking at us. He specifically said to me, you guys have done it right. You've built a business, organically grown off of a culture and a community that's built around faith, family, and friends. And he's like, I have made in my network marketing career, and he said 20 years. He's been with 15 different companies in 20 years. And he says, and yeah, I'm making good money. He's good money to him, by the way. I've seen his back office was like $30,000 a week. So black diamond money. He said, I'm making good money, but I'm not fulfilled. We don't have the connection like you guys have. We don't have the community like you guys have. The culture isn't important like you guys have. And our products are dying, but you guys just keep launching new cool stuff. Every time we think you're tapped out, you keep going. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, yes, I know. And to hear it from somebody else in our industry was like that second or the 10,000th nail for me in the board. That's like, you're in the right place at the right time. And we think we know, but we really have no idea. And I'm just so stoked for this run. I'm focused. I want black diamond, but more importantly, I just want to help my team and new people connect their passions to profit, because It Works is ultimately a vehicle. And my passion is helping people use this vehicle to do what they love, or do what they feel called to do, or do what inspires them, or do whatever, but to get paid to do it. So that's my long version of the story. No. Long, short version.
Sarah, I mean, I think if you didn't get chills at least once during that, you might be dead. So that was awesome. It was so, I mean, so there's a few things like I wrote down. Man, so what would you say? So you said that, the fact that, first of all, you just wanted this. So you went, you did it. So what did you do? Like, to go diamond in 30 days, you knew people. And I know probably working the business 10 years ago is different than now, but what did you do to like sign those people just to get started? Were you like calling people? Were you like, diamond in 30 days, that's crazy. Like it took 4 months.
It was crazy. But here's the thing. We didn't have social media like we have social media now. So I really did it belly to belly. And to be honest with you, the first 5 people that I signed, because we didn't really have, we had a diamond chart. We didn't have the steps to success. We didn't have the amazing website. We didn't have literally our shirts were iron-ons that we would buy from third-party companies, and we would iron them on ourselves. And I wore my first shirt so long that I had holes in my armpits, and I would wear a black shirt underneath my shirt just so nobody could see that I had holes in my armpits. The first 5 people I signed, so my husband, then boyfriend, was one of them, because I didn't know any better. I wouldn't have gone, if I could give you advice, it wouldn't have been to do the same thing. The other, nobody was somebody that I knew. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Everything that I thought would work out. I'm a personal trainer. I've been in radio sales. I am networked in the city. My job, what I loved to do was host events, whether it be an event for a bar, but my heart was specifically benefits for local VWs, for, gives back for Cure for Cancer, for kids in the city, stuff like that. So I always did things that typically didn't profit me, which is why I was in the position I was in. I was working for free or working for food and drinks, right? Nobody showed up to my first party. None of my friends were interested. They literally just straight up shot me down. So the first thing I did was do what I knew how to do. I worked at a bar. I had lots of friends at bars. So I went and I sat down at a little wings place called Jed's. And I said, I'm not leaving this place until somebody else tries this crazy rap thing. Because at this point, it's not on Facebook, right? Facebook, we didn't share stuff like that. My posts back then were like, you should try this thing. What? I see stuff that I wrote and I'm like, or it would be like, join my team now for $199. You would be crazy not to, just say it. That was what we posted. So if you think you have to have some strategy or you have to be crazy tactical, you don't. You just have to follow up with the posts and the likes and the things. You just got to go with your flow and learn how to make those 2mm shifts. I got better and I got better and I got better and I got better and I got better. Then I got worse for a little bit and then I got better. But ultimately what I did is I went to this restaurant and I said, I'm not leaving until somebody tries this. That was what I said in my head. I finally said it out loud about 2 hours later to one of the girls after I had been pestering them for so long. And I said, I'm not leaving until one of you try this. I cannot be the only person in this city that knows that this thing exists. I'm telling you, I'm going to make $1 million with this thing and somebody's going to come with me and one of you guys are going to know somebody. Somebody has to try it. They were like, we can't try it. We have to go work this festival over at the church. And I was like, I don't have anything to do tonight. I'm coming to the festival at the church. And that's exactly what I did. I followed those girls to the church. bought my tickets, went around, played the skee ball, made friends with the people working behind the thing. Good old fashioned belly to belly, word of mouth. This is what I've got. What do you think? You want to try it? Are you interested? 10 o'clock that night, I wrapped the manager behind a truck in the middle of this field of a church. Literally, that's what happened. It blew up in my face because she bloated. And if you didn't know that was something that could happen, I didn't either. That's how I found out. So I was like, I'm telling you, it's gonna work. Just keep drinking water. Thank goodness. The next day she went home. Her fiance was like, this thing is crazy. Like, I did this. It's nuts. And he was Googling and he was on board with it. And she saw results the next day. So she signed up. She hit the ground running. She signed all the girls in that restaurant. They started talking to the people they knew. They started talking to the people they knew. And she was my emerald. It literally just, the first person I signed.
Wow.
Ran. The second person I signed, the second person I signed was Josh. The third person I signed was a security guard at a concert that I was working at. I saw him standing there and I said, hey, is this all you do? And he said, yeah. I said, are you married? And he said, yes. And I said, what's your wife do? And he said, she works at Olive Garden. And I said, well, would you guys be open to making any more money? Because I've got this product and we're going to make money on this. I'm telling you. And he was like, yeah, let's look at it. So they looked at it. They bought a kit for $199. He posts on Facebook that he's going to come meet me at a coffee shop. Somebody else sees it, writes him and says, can I come to the coffee shop? I'm not kidding you. This is how it happened.
Wow.
She shows up to the coffee shop in her pajamas. We sat there, had great talk, and just giggled and drank way too much coffee for hours. She signs up, posts on Facebook that she joined. The next person that joined after that was this girl named Shelby, a little 18-year-old mom from Utah who posts and went, presidential diamond. Just. So I made it to double by just being obedient and sharing what I had. To get to triple required personal growth. To get to triple meant now I have to do something again, and so I had to hunt for that third person. And it ended up being a bartender at a bar. She was just standing there. I slid a Blitz card over because a Blitz card changed my life, guys. So I use them. Now I blitz online, I blitz on Instagram, I blitz on Pinterest, I'm blitzing everywhere. Now I'm so good at blitzing you, I don't even need a blitz card. That's how good I am. Yeah. I practiced this. And I slid the card across. I said, have you tried this? And she picked it up and she said, no. And I said, do you want to? And she goes, well, what's it do? And I said, that. She goes, well, how's it work? I was like, great. She's like, yeah. I was like, do you want to have a party? And she was like, yeah. I was like, holy crap, this is going to be so easy. And she was my customer for 2.5 years. She sent me 26 referrals before she finally signed up. Her name's Katie. She's my presidential diamond, one of my best friends in the world. And the rest is history. We just kept going. So I didn't know the people that started my career, that catapulted it. I had to meet them, and I did it belly to belly because I'm an energy person. If you've got great energy, I want to talk to you. I love social media. I've learned how to use it, but still, I mean, if you're in front of me and you've got any sort of good juju, like, you're going to be on my team. It's just a matter of when. So let's connect on Instagram. It might not be now, but don't worry. I'm still going to need distributors 10 years from now. So
here's the thing,
we'll build that network.
What I think is the key is that you were on fire, because I'm like, this is almost blowing my mind. I'm like, wait, you just like went around. My sister-in-law goes, are we hitting the bar tonight? She just texted me. I'm like, let's go. We're going to sign our next presidential.
Well, seriously though, your bartenders know everything that's going on. You've got to think about your network. So before social media, because you have to remember too, I didn't grow up with social media in the house, and we were poor. We didn't have computers. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 18. Like, what? You guys, this new generation, you've grown up knowing how to connect with the push of a button, but not really how to connect. So the reason that I'm still here and the reason I'm in top 20 is not because I'm the largest recruiter or the fastest recruiter or that I have the highest volume. I've got good, strong, loyal, committed leadership and relationships that like I actually really care about. These women and men, they're my brothers and my sisters. I know their babies, I know their birthdays, I know their anniversaries. We want to be together. Like we can't wait to put on our team t-shirt at conference and do our thing. Like we love it. And so creating that community and culture was something I valued from the beginning, because I didn't have it, but I received it when I went to the event. So it's that's why it's so important to just keep going to events. If something triggers you to open the book. It doesn't mean you have to finish the book, but open the book and see if there's a message waiting for you in the book. If there's a prompt on your heart to text someone, send the text. I sent a text when we were at top 20 because we're out on the boat. Side note, we're out on the boat and I felt it on my heart. You should text your whale. That's what we'll call him, the whale. You should text your whale. Now, mind you, this whale and I have been in cahoots since I started in 2010. He was the CEO of another network marketing company that tried to recruit me. So he's not like a minnow. This is a freaking whale. So I just text the whale because my heart said text the whale. I'm on the boat with these top 20 amazing people. Why are you texting whales? Like, what are you doing? But I did. And he goes, oh my gosh, are you at Hotel EAU? I just left 20 minutes ago. And I was like, what? It's been happy birthday, Merry Christmas. Oh, she's beautiful. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter. Oh, he's beautiful. We're so happy for you. Happy birthday. Hey, we've got a $50,000 bonus. Are you interested? No response. Okay. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas. Oh, we're so happy. We love your family. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas for 9 years. And now all of a sudden you want to come and have breakfast with me? And so that little prompt on your heart that says, talk to them. If it triggers a bartender in your mind to talk to a bartender, talk to that freaking bartender. We hustle. Get done. We know everyone because everybody comes to the table and they all spill their problems as soon as they sit down. So they know how to fix problems too, because once you have it works, all people want is more time, more money, better health. Those are 3 things that undoubtedly every single person wants. More time, more money, better health. And if it's not one of those 3, it's definitely friends and connection. And if it's not one of those 4, it's contribution. Like my whale said, I have the money, but I'm not fulfilled because I don't get to connect like you do. There's no culture like you guys have. You're chanting, you're jumping up and down. You're at the beach together. You love it. You're taking pictures. Like we don't do that.
Yeah.
No, so it's all the things.
I mean, what you said, it's like, I think there's the 2 parts that to me is what I'm taking away for sure, is that at the beginning when you joined, you said, I'm going to go make $1 million. And you've made them probably multiple millions, you know?
Made it. And then for all the time that it took me to made another $1.5 million.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's like,
yeah. So it's like, but you decided, I'm going to make $1 million. You were excited. You were passionate. You were telling strangers. You were rapping people. So if you're on here and you're not excited about what you have, you got to change that. Because that's why I would say yes to Sarah. If she's like, hey, I'm making $1 million. You're going to do this with me. Like, we're going to do this. This is going to be fun. Like, how can you not say yes to that?
But my friends said no. My friends said no.
But you
because they had seen me at bottom. They'd seen all the crap. They had seen all the drama. And they didn't expect me to grow because they weren't growing. So the idea that somebody could be better, somebody could heal themselves, someone could do something that they hadn't done before was outside of the box. If you get outside of the box, who's going to hang out with us in the box? Don't get outside of the box. And so you're going to come to a point in your career, and it might be right freaking now where you've got to decide, do I want to stay in the box or do I want to know what's outside of the box? And I had to know what was outside of the box. And I'll tell you what, now that I'm outside of the box, I can't even come close to a box. Like, I'm like, I can't be here. I can't be around these people. I can't sit at this table. I can't have this small talk about The Bachelor. No offense if you love The Bachelor. That's just what I always use. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk about things that light you up. I want to talk about how we're changing the world. I want to talk about how we can get your family out of debt. I want to talk about how we can bring your husband home, or how we can pay off those student loans that are plaguing you, or how we can take care of grandma because your mom can't do it. Whatever it is, I want to know. And I'm just genuinely curious because I've realized through my career that all we're building a business. Yes, we're sharing a product, but all we are is a conduit. You are a moment in time for somebody. And sometimes you get to decide and sometimes you don't. Where that moment takes you. Sometimes my interaction with them has inspired them to go join another company and go on to do really well and love it Love every moment of it. And I'm so thankful for that I was at a part of that journey. And sometimes our interaction means we're doing it together and we get to make a lot of money and have a lot of fun together. And sometimes it means that I get to watch Jesus come into your heart, and I get to speak life, and I get to be an example of that. And sometimes it's just to be that person that comes and sits at your table at the Ritz like I did the other day and was like, what's on your heart? What are you dreaming about? Is it really working at the Ritz? How do they treat you here? And this guy was like, I really would love to move to Charlotte. And I was like, well, what else do you like? And he's like, nothing but my dog. And I'm like, do you know there's a really great app called Rover that you can become a dog walker? My friend's doing it. And she's like, blah, 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 blah. And I just told him how to make his dream come true. And of course, made friends on Instagram because, side note, as soon as you get home, Rover ain't enough.
Yeah.
Residual. Because I'm like addicted to finding out what they want and how I can bring value to that table. It's either time, money, health, love, connection, spirit. Like those are the only things people are looking for, and we get to help them find it. Or literally, if you're like, I'm looking for that right now, then you get to invite them to be a part of it. And there are people connected to you through this business, like this Zoom right here, that could be a part. Like you could make a decision or lead them to an event or a person that could then take it somewhere else. It's just so amazing. And
no, I love that. So, and one thing that you said, which I think it has to do with even what you're saying now, is, you know, when you sign people, you build that community, you care about them, you want to help them. And as a result, helping people, you end up, you know, your business is growing because, I mean, we're literally paid to help people. And I love that. So when someone joins your team, Sarah, tell me this, you know, what are the first things you do? Like, so we know you said you build the relationship, like you connect with them, you're wearing the matching shirts, but what's one of the first things you do to get them then to be successful? Like, what do you coach them? I just joined you. What are you telling me are my first goals? How do you kind of launch, I guess?
From a coaching perspective, I have 3 questions, and these questions are easily adaptable to people who are also on your prospect list, people that you're meeting out and about while you're blitzing, and people who are interested in our products. They're questions that I ask myself. I'm not necessarily asking them this way out loud, but in the back of my mind, these are the questions. So there's little me with a blank little notepad, and I'm like, I'm going to figure out what this person wants. So what do you really want? I'm not talking about that surface level want. I want to be able, whatever the surface level is, I want to be able to make $500 a month. Okay. Why? So what does that person want? Why? What's $500 a month going to do for you? Well, it's going to let me pay off my credit card. Okay. Do you mind if I ask how much is on the credit card? Well, 15,000. Okay, so it's going to take us this long to do that at 500. Would you be interested in making 1,000 and we could do it in this amount of time? Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Okay, cool. Maybe we should look at Emerald instead. Or I'm like, okay, if it's $500 a month and I want to be able to take my kids to Disney World. Okay, well, so now I want you to picture this. We bought all the Mickey Mouse years. We got the fast passes. We stayed in the hotel. We got breakfast. They got breakfast with Mickey or Buzz or whoever you want them to. We got to take the most epic Disney World trip ever. Now what? Now you still got $500 a month because we build residual income here. So now what? Now what are you going to do? Well, I guess me and my husband would take that honeymoon that we've never taken. Where would you go? Oh, I go to Aruba. Oh, I love Aruba. I've been to Aruba. That's where we went for our honeymoon. So now you went to the resort that I told you to go to. It's all inclusive. And I paint this picture. Now what? Now what? And I take them to the end of that rope as far as I can get them until I can tell that they're like, I've never been this far before. You know, I don't want to freak them out too much, but I just want to keep trying to draw that dream out of you, because what It Works did for me was start to uncover dreams in my heart. I just wanted to pay my rent, guys. And then it was like, well, crap, if I could pay my rent, maybe I could buy a new car too, because I'm driving this one that my mom gave me, that my sister rented a semi in, that had duct tape, literally holding the airbags down, and I would park around the corners so nobody would see my hoopty Honda because I was trying to talk about business, and I didn't want you to see the car I was driving. So what if I could get my rent and a car? And so it started to uncover these dreams. And that's what I want to do when I'm talking to somebody. That's how I establish a relationship. So what do you want? Why do you want it? And how can I best help you? What type of relationship are you looking for with me? Do you need encouragement? And then one of the questions I really like to ask is, when things aren't going the way that you want them to be, because sooner or later in our relationship together, they won't be going the way that you want them to be. Are you the type of person that you just want me to leave you alone? Or do you want me to call you and remind you of this conversation that we had today, the reason that you started? And that is an important question because it allows me to understand, are they going to be somebody who wants to work this out? Because I tell them, if we can grow through it together, because there's so many layers that you start to realize, doubts and fears that pop up, and if you've got somebody to talk to, it's so much easier. Now, don't be fooled here. I'm not going to let you call me and start speaking doubts and fears and things that aren't truths. I'm not the friend that's going to have a 30-minute conversation with you about what went wrong. I'm the friend that's going to have a 10-minute conversation with you about what we can do to make it right. And I'm going to invite you to take the next step. And so I'm really a leader that's brave enough to have a conversation that matters. If you make an excuse to me more than one time, I'm going to say, can I be honest with you? You know, you told me you wanted to make $500 a month, and I've helped you work out that first post for Facebook, and it's day 4 and you still haven't posted it. And I just want to know, like, do you really want to make this money? What's holding you back? Why are you so afraid of posting it on Facebook? It's just Facebook. I'm going to be right here if anybody asks you a question. So that next thing after the 3 questions is we make sure we write a Facebook post that's true to them. And I love using the Unfold app. It's pretty and it's easy. And just a couple little bullet points, mom of 3 decided to start for $500 a month to save your trip to Disney. Would you please, if you're interested in getting healthy for the new year, holler at your girl. Or if you're interested in drinking coffee and losing weight, holler at your girl. Whatever the post is, that's true to them. I want it to feel good for them. But I also want it to be bold for them, not just like, I started this thing. Okay. It's got to be, I want to help them a little bit. So then I get them into the Facebook group. And in our Facebook group, we've got a really easy list. The next thing I want to know is shoot me a picture when you print off your steps to success. And so they're either going to send you the picture or they're not. Now, I'll only send a couple of reminders, like, did you print off your steps to success? Here's one for your phone. Now let's fill the boxes. And I really like to do that on the phone with them if I can, if not through Zoom. If not, then we're doing it through text. And I'm just doing my best to try to transfer energy, try to help them understand, let's look at this. We've got 5 people. So who are 5 people right now that want to make some money or that need to make some money? Or you know what? Let's take need to make some money. I'm not saying don't approach those people, but let's go a step farther. Let's talk about who's working at your local radio station. Where's your mayor hang out? Who is your mayor? Do you know what circle they run in? Do you know who the DJs are on the radio stations that are popular? Are you picking up the newspapers and the prints that are local to your city that give you a list of all the events and different things you can go and do? What do you like to do? How can we connect the dots to you meeting people, growing your network, and doing this business? The business is the easy part. It's the constant funnel of people and new networks and relationships that you have to bring into your life that you've got to help people figure out what works best. I'm an all the things person. I've got the lead boxes at my chiropractor's office. I've got my business cards in every stack around the city. I'm going to the mixers and to the girls' nights. I'm talking to the bartenders when I go out with my girlfriends and to my servers if they've got a good attitude. I'm posting on Facebook. I'm doing my Instagram stories. I'm using Snapchat here and there. I don't get anything with Snapchat, but it does help me connect, the dots. So I'm an all the things person. But in the beginning, I was just the belly to belly things. So what I do is I have in my mind a jar of marbles, or a jar. I have an empty jar. And every time you do something to move towards me, so when you print off that steps to success, like I asked you to, I put a marble in your jar. Now, for me, I'm a mom. I'm loving life. I'm growing my business, but I'm doing it with peace and love and joy at the center. And there were days where I did have to have my 18-hour days to get to Ambassador. Don't lie. I've got a video on YouTube. If you want me to yell at you, I swear a little bit, and I drop some real stuff, and I'm not looking real pretty. I'm in my tiki hut. It's a truth bomb on my YouTube. Go watch it. I'll tell you exactly what it takes to get to Ambassador. When I told you I cried in the shower, I wasn't lying. I was crying in the shower. Like, there's work, you guys, and there's relationships, and there's heartbreak, and there's due diligence, and there's commitment and loyalty and dedication. And there are going to be people that miss it by like 26 BB. How did this happen to us? Yeah. There's all those things along the way, but it was absolutely worth it. There's not one day that I worked hard that I would regret. There are months where I didn't work as hard, and I can tell you what months those were because they're heavy on me, because I I knew what I was doing. I was self-sabotaging. I was purposely avoiding making progress in the directions of my dreams. I was backsliding. And thank God I do personal development. You asked what was on my 6 list. That's one of them every single day. You can follow me on YouTube.
That's the next question. So tell us your 6 list.
6 list, 3 weeds, 3 seeds.
Okay.
So I have to finish the marbles really quick.
Yeah, finish marbles.
The marbles are, so at the end of the day, when I look at my team, who am I working with? Who am I spending my time with? Who am I on the phone with? Who am I doing Zooms with? Who am I spending special time with at conference? Who am I sending a little bit of an extra love note in the mail or an extra love tap on Facebook? It's the people with the marbles in the jar. Now, that doesn't mean that you're signing all these loyal customers and all these distributors to get marbles. No, you're showing up on the team Zoom. You bought your conference ticket. You're on the call tonight. You signed a loyal customer this month. You printed off your steps to success. You made the post I asked you to make. You asked a question when you needed it. Those are all the things that get marbles in the jar. Yeah. And so it starts to become real easy of who do I work with? Well, who's got marbles in the jar? If you want to, I can't take credit for that. That came from Brene Brown. It's a book called Dare to Lead. It's really good. I love it. It's kind of deep. So you might need to be a little bit further along in your personal development journey, and maybe it's perfect for you. You never know. What I do is I crack the spine of a book, and if it doesn't speak to me, I close the book. If it speaks to me, I read until my brain goes, aha! And sometimes I'm done with the book for that time, for that moment of time. And sometimes I'm on to such an aha that I have to keep going. I have to read every book this guy's ever written, right? It'll light something on fire for you. So 6 list, 3 weeds, 3 seeds, personal development, absolutely every single day. Church, you have to have your time to be quiet, to speak to the Lord, to truly understand the power. Either everything's a miracle or nothing is. And I've lived in both places. And I can tell you that the times where I am most fulfilled, where I am most passionate, where I am most energetic, where I am most excited, where I am most, just my most in total alignment is when I'm taking that time to be and listen and do and take care of me. When I'm taking that time to be in the zone. So personal development is huge. My relationship with God is huge. Realizing the power that we have. Everything's a miracle or nothing is. When that person walks past me the night before I prayed, literally my prayer was, please God, put the person in my path. Let me be strong, brave enough to talk to them. Let me be smart enough to see them. Like, people walk past you all the time. Give me eyes to see. Help me see who they're supposed to be. Give me the words that they need to hear. Let me be brave enough to say them. Like, give me the courage. Be there. Show me. And if you're really asking for that, and if you really believe in what you're doing and where you're going, and that the dream on your heart is there for a reason, you're going to be obedient. And when you're obedient, good things happen. When you're obedient, you start to see that everything is working for you. Even the things that you didn't think worked out, like that 6-month period where I was banging my head against the wall. I was so mad that things weren't working out. But the truth is, if I had received Ambassador Diamond income any sooner, I would have found myself back in the bottom of a bottle. I'm not going to lie. I was finding a reason to celebrate all the time. I had to go through this season of growth and transformation to be prepared to be that next person that my business and my leadership and my influence was going to require me to be. I had to grow up. I had to take responsibility for the influence that God was putting at my feet. And so there's season for a reason. 3 weeds, 3 seeds. Don't stop developing. Personal development, time with Jesus. 3 weeds, 3 seeds. 3 weeds are 3 things that you really don't want to do. Maybe you don't want to run your CAB report if you're a diamond above. Maybe you don't want to sit there and erase the people off of your chart that you need to erase off your chart, but you need to erase them off your chart. Maybe you don't want to send 50 messages to people you've been too afraid to send those messages to. Those are the things that if you get those out of the way at the beginning of your day, you're going to feel like a conqueror. You're going to feel like I can do anything because I just did the crap that I didn't want to do. And now everything else for the rest of the day is amazing. And the 3 seeds are 3 things that are going to grow your business. 3 things that are either going to make you money or bring you joy. Now, those are seeds. Now, you got to be, if you can incorporate the 2, if they can bring you joy and make you money. For example, if there's a horse show down the road and you love horses, pack your Blitz cards, take your keto coffee, take some samples of collagen, make sure your phone is charged, and be prepared to make friends with absolutely every person that comes into your path. Hey, are you on Instagram? It's literally the easiest question you can ask. And when they say no, I say, oh, you're old school. You're on Facebook. And they're like, yeah. Or they're like, no. And I'm like, ooh, you're under the radar? You're not on any social media? And they're like, no. And I'm like, can I have your phone number? I'm going to shoot you a text. You have to hear about what I have. And I don't talk about it right there. I take it home and I do the follow-up. I build the relationship. I do the follow-up. But it doesn't have to be like some crazy 10-month-long process. It can literally happen in a couple of minutes. It's the energy transfer more than it is the things you say. It's how you make them feel. People will remember how you make them feel. I made the girls laugh at the counter. So I was like, I'm following you. And they were probably like, she's creepy. They were probably texting each other, you do it. No, you do it. No, you do it. Just get her out of here, you know? But I was bound and determined to make you remember who I am. Make you remember who I am, because one day, you'll see. And that just kept me moving. So there's so many things and so many things. Hopefully I said something that you guys needed. I love
that. I love the 3 weeks, 3 seeds. I've never ever heard that. I think that's so good. Okay, last thing that I'll ask you. What tip would you give then? There's people on here, there's 7 days left, there's not a whole lot of time left, but they really want that promotion, or they really want to maintain that rank, or they really want to hit that goal they set. What would you say to them?
I would say first and foremost, put out some kind of engagement post on what are your goals for 2019, or you know, what's one thing you want to improve in your life in 2019. You know what's coming, so start having the conversations now. You know conference is coming. You want to be building that network now. You know people are getting money and they're spending money. Those are both two great positions for us. They're spending money, which means they need to pay off that money because it's all going to their credit card. You guys, less than 60% of Americans don't have more than $1,000 in their savings. Yeah. Literally, people were commenting on my post, what's a savings? And I was like, you're 35 years old. Mm-hmm. What's a savings? Do you want to change it? That's the question. That's the first question. The second question is, I have to bring my yellow out for this one. I got to bring it down a notch. And I usually like to send it through a voice message so that you can hear me and it doesn't come off offensive. And I want to know, dang it, Sherry Lynn, how long has this been going on? How long have you been in this position? Talk to me. And either they do or they don't. If they do, I'm going to just speak the truth. I've got what can get you out. It worked for me. Not easy. It's fun, but we can do it. And I've got the steps. I've got a chart that's going to take you right here. So that would be my first thing. Build the network, make the post, start the conversations, but also don't be afraid to ask. Is there anybody left that still needs some Christmas shopping to do? We've got some amazing products, you guys. Who loves coffee? Who loves hot chocolate? Who wants to get skinny? Who wants to lose all the weight they're putting on for Christmas? Who spent too much money this Christmas? These are all questions that you can ask that are immediately an open window for you. The business is so easy for me to talk about because I believe in it so much. The products, I've got to be a little bit more like thoughtful when I do it, because I sometimes will be a little just salesy. Like I'll be like, collagen, it has all these benefits, buy it, you know? And so I have to think about like, okay, who's noticing, who turned 30, who's noticing things? Anybody noticing things? And then they're noticing things. Or my poll on Instagram is, do you know anything about collagen? Yes or no? If they hit yes, I inbox them. I say, what do you know? Teach me all the things. I'm trying to learn the things. If they say no, I'm like, girl, collagen, look at these 5 points. We just launched a new product, tropical fruit punch. You want some? Holy cow. And it just gets those conversations going. My thing would be to just make sure that every conversation you have, you're leaving it in a good place, because everything changes. Mm-hmm. Right now we're living in the holly jolly Christmas and I'm spending all the time with my family. And then comes January 1st, and you're like 15 pounds heavier and I can't pay my credit card bill. Like, you know what I mean? It changes for a lot of people. So if you leave the conversation in a good place, it's going to benefit you no matter what. If you're looking for that last minute volume, we know that there's something amazing coming. There's all these amazing packages now that were just announced. We've got the coupon codes. It's just a matter of asking. And for me, I have a couple of coupon codes left. I've been really stingy this time around because we've seen what happens when you just offer it up like it doesn't have value. I want to remind you guys that people paid like 10 grand to sell leggings. Like, you are not undervalued, or you are severely undervaluing what we offer for the price point that we offer it at. Because where they at though? Where they at though? I've been here for like 9 years. Where they at though? All these companies that came up and they're like, hey, look at me. Everybody who's not doing anything over there, come over here. And then they all go over there. And then guess what happens? Nobody does anything over there. And then like, come over here. And now 9 years later, I'm like, do they still exist? I'm like Googling. Oh, they went bankrupt. Oh, they fell apart. Oh, they did this. And we're still over here growing, changing the map, bringing new people in, reinventing ourselves, creating the culture, stepping up our social game, making improvements that they've been telling us they've been working on. Like the past 2 conferences, they've been saying this is coming and this is coming and this is coming. It's here. Like we're in it. It's happening. It's here. The new wave of growth to go on to that beyond $1 billion. It's here. And sometimes the caterpillar needs a little bit of time alone to make those wings, right? To get ready to fly. And I feel like we went through a couple of years where leadership was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna work in my cocoon real quick, and we're gonna figure it out. We're going somewhere. We know we're going somewhere. We're not sure where we're gonna go or when we're gonna go, but we're gonna go. We're gonna go. And now at Top 20, I was like, all of us were just like, oh, we're here. We're ready. Our teams are coming with us. Look at all the caterpillars. Like, we can't wait. And we're so excited. And they've done what they said they were going to do. So I would honestly bottle up all of the energy that you can for me, because I am just sending it to you right now, to each and every one of you. I want you to feel this. I want you to know that you're in the right place at the right time. I hope that you heard something you needed to hear tonight. You don't have to be the prettiest, the skinniest, the most popular. You don't have to be the most educated. You don't have to have the filters on your photos. People, listen here. I love the filters, don't get me wrong, but it's so over filterified now that you would be totally the oddball posting unfiltered photos, and that would get some crazy recognition. Show the dirty dishes in your sink, mama, because my sink looks like that. It's just, I'm gonna post it after I bleach it, okay? Like,
right.
You know? But do you, and just do the best you. One of the things Marwa said, and I'll leave you with this, was I realized I could get here by just being the best version of me. And when she said that, and she talked about how her culture, women don't lead, women don't make money, women don't have a voice, women don't have this opportunity. I realized that was an aha moment for me, hearing her story, that as a woman, you guys, we're in a place in time in history where what we're doing is not only changing the future for our daughters and our granddaughters and our great-granddaughters, because women are rising up and they are roaring and they are loud and they are fierce and determined to do what they have to do to take care of their families. Done are the days where it's just dad that needs to bring home the bread, because quite honestly, even if dad's doing a great job right now, you need 2 incomes to survive anymore. So everybody's looking for a side hustle. Everybody's looking to get healthier. And if they have the money, they want the time, or they want the connection and the contribution. So just don't be afraid. If you operate from a place of obligation and you truly understand what you have your hands on, that you can help somebody like myself who is living in the back of her truck at the bottom of a bottle, to walk in this faith walk and be abundantly blessed and able to raise my daughter in a beautiful home and have security. Like, your Blitz card could do that for someone. Don't just think about what it could do for you. Think about what you can do for them. The story I want to leave you with is short and sweet. I went to go birthday shopping. We had a surprise birthday party for Josh years ago, and I needed to run into Walmart really quick. And I can't tell you why I did this, probably just so I could have the aha moment that I've been sharing with people for years. But I was on a mission that day to get in and out, and I couldn't be inconvenienced by somebody stopping me to ask me, what is that? I took off my It Works jacket. I left my cell phone in the car, and I grabbed my debit card. I left everything else in the car. I grabbed my debit card, and I walked in. As I check out, I just happened to check out in the most beautiful, vibrant Black ladies checkout line that ever existed. She was like, just Queen Latifah all up in it. She was glowing. She was beautiful. She was powerful. Like, her line was so much fun. I even told her, oh my gosh, you should have like an iPad or an iPod playing and music at your checkout line, because who's friendly and radiant at Walmart? Like, nobody, right? And that little voice in my head was like, you should Blitzer. I was like, shh, I got stuff to do. Little voice. I'm just being nice and cordial. And as I'm walking away, the little voice was like, You could go back. You could go grab a Blitz card and you could go back. You could have gotten her phone number on a receipt. And I kept walking. And I got into my car and I started my car. And my heart was like, you could go back. It's not too late. Go back. She was amazing. That's exactly who you're looking for. What are you doing? And I drove out of the parking lot. And then I went on and I had a birthday party with Josh that night. And I've thought of that woman almost every single day for the past 6 years of my life, because all I can think about is, what if the person who blitzed me didn't listen to that day? Because she was shaking and she was sweating and she didn't have place in my gym. She wasn't there to work out. She wasn't interested in being a member. She hadn't been in a gym in decades. What if she would have just let fear get in her way? What if she would have not been obedient in that moment? And what did I do? What did I do? What if she was a single mom with babies? What if I took that opportunity away from her? What if I could have changed her life and I chose not to? And that's haunted me. And so my line is like, get up, get out there, and get obligated. If you truly believe that what you have is a gift, and one of the most powerful moments in conference history was when Mark asked that from the stage and everybody stood up. Silence, except for the seats hitting the chair backs. Thousands and thousands of people stood on their feet and looked at each other. And we all had a moment where we realized, what the hell are you so afraid of? Because look at this. It is a gift. We're standing. And I took that gift from someone because I allowed myself to be inconvenienced by my blessing. I made excuses. For what? I can't even tell you why, especially because I argued with myself the whole way. I was trying to self-sabotage. I was purposely letting my old self, my old broken me, stop me from doing something that could have been really big. Now I know, because I'm a believer, that everything is working for you, and that was a lesson. She was put in my life to teach me a lesson, to teach me that you just always be prepared. Always be prepared. Always be bold. Always be willing to say, you have something special. I want to talk to you. I'll tell you what, I don't hear that every day. So just send the call. Send the message. Stop being so afraid. Decide you're going to do something tonight, and you're going to do something by Christmas, and you're going to do something before the beginning of the year. Because if you wait to start for the beginning of the year, you're just going to keep settling for less because you didn't set a standard for yourself. You don't make some crazy, stupid goal like, I'm going to message 1,000 people, because you're just setting up things so you can disappoint yourself, right? You're just trying to break promises to yourself so you can say, see, and you just let that old self-limiting you. We don't have time for that. That person is not coming into 2019. She or he cannot sit with us. You can't sit with us. We're not saving you a seat at conference. You have to come as a man, as a woman that's ready to rip it open and change somebody's life, including your own. And the second you can get into that place of alignment, you will be fulfilled. You will be excited. You won't be able to sleep tonight. You'll be waking up in the middle of the night, writing names down on your hundreds list. And I'd say, get through that hundreds list and then rip it up. Your job is to make a new one. Stop going through the same 100 people that you've been going through for the past 3 years, hoping that one of them is going to have an aha moment that's going to change your life. You have to take responsibility for the blessing that's at your feet. We're all given the same opportunity. I promise you, no matter how hard you pray for $1 million in your bank account, God isn't going to be like, oh, I'm just going to wire transfer that to you. He's like, hey, I threw you the bone. Like, I threw you the ball. Run while you pray. Faith without works is dead. So go to work and have faith.
I love that, Sarah. Oh my goodness, so good. And I mean, I just keep thinking so much of what you said. It's like I had finished not long ago the 5-second rule, and Mel Robbins is like, you just got to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. You know, talk to that person, hand that blitz card. I mean, you made me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my blitz cards. You know, I blitz online, but I'm gonna put them back in my purse, and I'm gonna be passing those bad boys out.
But you know, at Publix that can put 5 people in a room, and if one of those 5 people show up, that's the one person. I only needed that one person who saw the post on Facebook to take me to Utah that took me to a $2 million leg, literally.
Insane.
Stacked like 5 ambassadors deep over there. That leg is solid.
Crazy.
And it was a blitz card.
It was a blitz card. I mean, that is
a security guard. Like, I mean, it's not like that would be at the top of your list. You know what I mean? Of somebody, you're like looking for moms and just, you're blind to the people that are sitting in front of you, and they're right there. You've been praying for them. They're right there. You've been sleeping. And now after this call, you woke and you're going to walk around and you're going to be like, is it you? Is it you? Is it you?
Yeah.
Is it you? Am I supposed to meet you today? What about you? Am I supposed to meet you today?
I forget. I was talking to someone the other day, and that's what we were just talking about. She was saying, yeah, my girl, she just said none of those girls are really doing anything. And I said, you know what the thing is? You've got to get them to have a party. You've got to get into their network because they may do nothing, but like that security guard may have done nothing, but the mom in Utah that became a presidential, boom, she was the one. So it's like, you don't know.
He just runs an auto ship and gets a fat distributor paycheck and sits.
I wonder what he made.
I don't know, but I'm like, this year he renewed on the last day of his 60 days. I was sitting there like, praise Jesus, it's about to compress for the first time in ever. Woo! And then it was like, renew. And I was like,
that is crazy.
I still can't be mad because it changed my life, changed everything.
No, it did. It did. That I love it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, girlfriend, for taking the time. I feel like we're all fired up. And yes, y'all, it's recorded. I'll upload it tomorrow. And Sarah, I'll send you the link too. But also, you guys, I'm creating a link and we'll have our team Facebook party this Thursday. So that will be getting posted on the team page. So hope everyone has a good night, y'all. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.